have the people who have come in, we still don't have housing for it. And the longer that those people stay in Canada, the more likely they are to need larger accommodation based on the fact that we all reproduce. And there's no way to pencil those projects anytime in the near future. The only thing that changes this game is the 35% drop in costs that come about from government taxes when the government gets serious and realizes, oh shit, we have a real problem here.
You said it decreased, the prices decreased down to 60%. So it's 60% of a or 40% decrease. The prices it was never worth the price that was on that piece of paper. There was never a product that was built where somebody said it's worth $1,600 a square foot to buy at Moss Park, right?
But there was a commitment signed to that amount. So anyone who's committed is fundamentally in at that price point.
There's a 40% or 60%, whatever the number ends up being, differential, right?
That's right.
Because it's like, why were these people signing these contracts? And it was all hype, and it was just like, it made no sense. It was the only way that the project was going to get done. Darryl can attest to that. The numbers as far as the margins that the developers on most of the projects were making weren't extravagant. Land costs, like you said, was at a premium, which has now come down a lot as well too. And so it was just like this perfect storm of, it was a trap.
Marketing.
It was a trap.
And we have a real problem, because that trap was used by our municipalities to terrible effect. Because instead of having had to balance a budget, they were able to continually raise development fees. John Tory was the worst at this. Just raise development fees to the nth degree, and people would continue to pay it, because what they were doing was they were taking advantage of a bubble the same way people who were trying to assign were taking advantage of a bubble. But where it leads now that the bubble has popped is a situation where it is impossible to develop anything. There's no construction going up. Every time a crane goes down, 500 jobs are lost in this city, and trains are going down. They are selling no new build product, and it's a direct result of taxes. New build taxes, which are the most pernicious of taxes that exist, because it kills your ongoing revenue. The less you have for ongoing entry taxes, the more you have for ongoing revenue. And yet the municipalities have raised development fees to a point where no developer can pencil any project. We're having nothing in the sky. The only thing that is still in the sky were the heydays of bubble mania. And we have to have a serious talk with ourselves and either prioritize seriously building in the future, which means lowering these taxes to hopefully nothing, because there's no good that comes from them. Or alternatively, we're going to be stuck in doldrums where ultimately more and more people come into this country with less and less places to live, and we're just creating mass problems for ourselves going forward.
Is there a chance, though, that lack of supply, because this is what all the developers are putting out there right now, they're like 3, 4, 5 years down the road, we're not going to have any new supply coming on because our projects aren't selling right now. Is there a chance that supply is going to be so undersupply, like it's undersupplying the market, where we're actually going to see an upward pressure on prices again that's actually going to get people out of trouble?
Which market, it's which market? Because right now the market is so vastly different between condos, high-rise condos, boutique condos, condos designed for end users versus investors, and then houses and townhouses. Like, these are all going in not the same directions, right? So what market are you actually talking about right now? Are these investors in high-rise projects that were all very speculative in nature, and or are these like people that were planning on moving into the unit at some point and just got caught in a bad storm?
Are you talking to me, or are you talking?
Yeah. Yeah, nobody cares what TK has to say. He talks for every other day.
Look, the market, we so overbuilt shoebox condos that and there is no longer a return in them, and they're so impractical for daily living that I just think we're going to have an abundance of oversupply in that area for a long period of time. I just don't think that shoebox condo is the only way you could pencil a project. That's going to create further impetus to actually not being able to launch, because you have to launch bigger condos than what has gone out. We aren't New York, despite what we'd like to think sometimes. We just aren't. We're Toronto. Sure. You can't do 300 square feet. 500, 550, and even then, that's hard to live in with someone else. And we're at a point now where we are a metropolis that is starting to raise our families in towers, which means we need larger towers and the investor class being gone and scorched, and have so many of these products coming on the line, because that's what the vast majority of these buildings were, you are going to see a glut in that area. But it's going to push a glut in the larger areas as well, because first of all, we have none of those larger areas coming online because that's not what's sold in the past couple of years. So there'll be increasing demand for these things. But I mean, Darryl, you're a developer. Are you able to pencil larger bill? I mean, it's easy when you're in Forest Hill. Kudos to you. You can charge whatever the hell you want. But if you were in downtown, could you pencil a project with 2 bedrooms, 3 bedrooms? Of course not. Of course you can't. I mean, maybe you can do that in maybe you can do that in rental now because the HST is gone, and that does help things substantively, like credit where credit is due. But that those incentives haven't been provided to builders. So what will happen in the future? Well, I don't know. We have a perfect storm. We do have immigration, although the immigration is being cut back significantly now by all levels of government. And by which I mean not levels of government, but by all parties. The Liberals are now on side. They realize they have a real political problem, and they're shutting down immigration too. The Conservatives, when they come in, they're going to hammer that. So one way or the other, the immigration taps are off. But we still have the people who have come in. We still don't have housing for it. And fundamentally, the longer that those people stay in Canada, the more likely they are to need larger accommodation based on the fact that we all reproduce. And there's no way to pencil those projects anytime in the near future. The only thing that changes this game is the 35% drop in costs that come about from government taxes when the government gets serious and realizes, oh shit, we have a real problem here.
Like, comment, and subscribe if you got anything from one of these clips. And if you want to see some more, press something on the screen here. Boom.
That was good.
That was good. I like that. That was good.